This is JC Santana. Just finished with Matt on Digging In. We covered inspiration, motivation, fitness, strategies, techniques, you name it, we covered it. You got to tune into the show.
Welcome back to Digging In. I got an amazing episode coming up. We have an amazing guest, JC Santana. I just want to tell you, selfishly, I have so many people on. I love all the guests we have on, but you guys know that for me, health and fitness is a passion. And when I get to speak to somebody of this caliber, it's an honor. And I know that we're going to be he's going to share so much information. He's got a state-of-the-art training facility in Boca Raton, Florida. I mean, it's not just state of the art. He's going to tell you about it, but award winning, so many awards. And there's a reason why he has this gym. And there's a whole story he's going to tell you that sort of set the foundation for him to have the amazing operation he has today, training, working with professional athletes. And he himself is a leading practitioner of functional fitness. So without further ado, this is JC Santana. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, how's it going? Pleasure to be here with you, digging in.
We're digging in, baby. Oh man. So wow. There's so many places to start, but so anybody that knows your facility and IHP, and by the way, what does IHP stand for?
Institute of Human Performance.
Perfect. Anybody that knows that facility based in Boca Raton, and even if you don't know, and you look at that website and you just get fired up by looking at what he's done, we're not going to start there. We want to go back and look at and talk about real quick where JC started, how this all happened, his background. And so JC, if you could start there, it would be an honor.
Where would you like me to start?
Early. I want you to tell me how you got into health and fitness and where the passion came from. Like, go back to your childhood. Sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
Well, I was born in Cuba. I came here when I was 7 in 66. And my passion started from the word get-go. Genetics is huge. I'm a huge student of genetics because I have to be because of what I do. I never, my action heroes were always human-like. It was never Batman. It was never like a superhero. It was always Tarzan, Samson, Hercules. It was always bodybuilders acting like superheroes, but it was always human. And I always loved combat. Since I was 5, my father was taking me to boxing. So combat.
This was in Cuba.
Yes, combat and physical prowess. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Boom. I would memorize all the wrestling moves that you saw in professional wrestling. So I could do all of those moves, at 6, 7, 8, because that's what I loved. So we came to the United States, normal kid, little league, school, did good in school, was a good kid, didn't get in any trouble. Got into combat at 12 with Kung Fu, karate, then wrestling, judo, jujitsu, kickboxing. And I competed in those martial arts till I was 46 was my last.
So you started those when you were 12. Did you have one that you started with and you went to another? And then, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, I started with Kung Fu. Kung Fu, the whole Bruce Lee thing. Bruce Lee was like a mentor of mine, the way he learned, he always wanted, the Jeet Kune Do way was to find the best of everything and put it together. He always had a hybrid mentality to things because he knew that no one thing had it all. That alone is what I learned from him. No one thing had it all. And so he always found a way to mix things in this fluid, non-choreographed way. So that's the way I started to learn. We came to California, spent 2 years there, then came to Miami because of the Hispanic population. In 69, I went to Citrus Grove, Kinloch Park, Miami High, graduate of Miami High, started to study medicine because I love the human body. Then I volunteered at Miami Jackson and found out that I hate hospitals. So bang, scratch that. I went through biomedical engineering because I still kind of wanted that anatomy, human body, but I think like an engineer. So that's how I can see human movement because I see lines. I don't see the body. So it makes it very easy for me once I understand vectors. I mean, I can look at something, break it down and go, oh, of course, there it is.
Man, that is a unique perspective that you're approaching from. It really is.
My other love is music and art. So next lifetime, I'm not so sure I'm coming back as a fit dude. I might come back as an artist that's fit. instead of a fitness guy that's a frustrated musician and artist. But anyway,
what instrument do you play?
Percussion. I'm a beat guy. I'm a rhythm. I'm this guy. You know, I don't dance to the guitar solo. I'm like boom, boom, boom. In every way, shape, or form. That's why I love combat, because of the rhythm and striking and stuff like that.
Oh, what a connection there is there.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So you graduated from Miami High in 77. Huh?
You came to the US in 69?
No, came to the US in 66.
66. Okay. Then 69, you were in high school.
I came to California. No, in 66. I'm 7 years old.
Oh, okay. So what was 69? What happened in 69? That's where you stopped.
Florida.
Came to Florida. Okay. So you came to Miami.
Yeah, I came to Miami, you know, and did the whole Miami thing. Moved to Boca Raton in 83, and I've been here ever since. So
congratulations on that.
Thank you. So I was pre-med, then engineering, then went through all the business and all that stuff. So I had 136 credits with no degree. That kind of guy, you know, studied everything, you know. But you know what? There's a reason why that happens, and it's called range. David Epstein has a book on range, which shows that the people who really hit the top don't specialize early. That 10,000 hours, 10 years has been walked back already, because David Epstein has been with Geoff on panels. So now they studied Tiger Woods versus Federer. Okay. Tiger Woods specializes early, 10,000 hours, 10 years. Federer, okay, doesn't want to play tennis. His mom is a tennis pro. Okay. Doesn't want to do tennis. He wants to do wrestling. He wants to do soccer and everything. Mom is going crazy. Then in his teens, then he says, I think I'm ready. And the rest is history. And when studied, that late bloomer that we talk about is not the late bloomer. That's the guy that ripens perfectly, because you get a range of different things that teach you different strategies that you can bring into any sphere of or any genre, any sphere of expertise. Systems are systems. So what you learn from range are systems of movements, systems of data acquisition, systems of data processing, all of those things. So after doing all the sports and studying everything, I even had, dude, let me see if I can show you this right here. Let's see if I can. Do you see those those albums on?
Yes.
You see those albums there?
Yes.
Okay, right here.
Got a little bit of a bad connection on. I think I might be on your end. Just go a little slow. Let it focus for a sec.
Right there. Yes,
I see it.
Okay, those are two vinyl albums that I cut in '84.
Get out of here.
And they were just re-released last year. So if you go to YouTube and look up Myth, M-Y-T-H.
All right, hold on.
Myth, M-Y-T-H.
All right, that's the name of the group. Hold on.
Yeah, and you'll see In Action and Play With Me. Those are the two singles that we cut and we were touring with when Gloria Estefan was hitting big.
I remember that too. I used to go see her.
I went to school with a drummer that wrote Conga, Dr. Big, and Rhythm's Gonna Get You, Kiki Hernandez.
You're kidding.
I went to school with him. He and I used to practice in my house.
I want to search it later. It's not coming up. I got to do it.
Anyways, yeah. So we do that, and then I buy a bar, you know, and I'm like going nuts.
Wait, can I interrupt you there for 1 second?
Sure.
Well, I read so many books and studied so many people in fitness, and I've never heard about range the way you just described it. I understand all the concepts, and each one of them I'm familiar with just because of their business concepts. But what's interesting to me as you were describing that, and you went down to 10,000 hours, which is Malcolm Gladwell's book. I'm thinking about Relentless by Tim Grover. Do you know that?
No, I haven't read it.
That book, he talks about the same thing, but he puts it in a perspective of like Kobe and Michael Jordan. And it's interesting because he doesn't actually call it range. And so he was the trainer to those guys too. I mean, when that whole Bulls run was happening.
Yeah.
She doesn't call it range, but as I'm listening to you, I'm realizing that it's the same thing. Like it's you put the time in, but there was so many different elements. There were so many different aspects, and there were strategies and there were systems. You just gave me a new word, man. Like range is like.
Well, it's not my word. It's the name of the book.
Wait, who wrote the book?
Epstein.
David Epstein, you said?
Yeah, David Epstein. Look at his TED Talk for 15 minutes.
That's unbelievable. I listen, as a business owner, and I've done well, I can attest to that is 100% what it came down to. Because like I have similar to you, like I didn't have any one thing that I excelled at, but I did a lot of different things, and I pulled a little bit of everything that was the best I could pull from everything I did, and I didn't really hit it until I was like in my mid 30s.
I'm gonna hit it in my 60s. I hit it in my 40s.
Yeah.
Then boom, I had things happen in my life, divorce, tough economy and all that. Then we had COVID. Just when I was coming back, bam, COVID hits me. I'm down for $750,000. COVID has cost me thus far.
The gym was closed.
Huh?
You were, because the gym was closed, right? You were shut down.
Yeah, no, we stayed open, but the thing is, nobody's coming. I mean,
nobody's coming.
You can sell all you want, but if the population is terrified and nobody's leaving the house, you're not selling anything, even if you're open.
So I cut you off. Let me bring you. Go ahead. Go back to where you were.
Yeah. Anyways,
the
bar went bankrupt in 1991, 92. Went back to school and studied what I wanted to study, which was physiology. So I went back to what I originally wanted to study. It was either music or some kind of physiology. Okay.
I'm not good with the math in the head. How old were you at that point?
32.
All right. Now you're about to hit your stride.
32, 33. Now you're hitting that mature
bang,
and you become the student you used to hate when you were 23.
It's so true. It's so true. And you were training the whole time. In all the martial arts, you were still training the whole time. All through your 20s.
On and off. I would tour with my band, and if there was a competition anywhere, boom, I'd go and compete. It was crazy, doing nightlife and fighting at the same time.
Okay. This is good. You're painting a great picture. I mean, first of all, I don't want to skip over what I can tell just from talking to you for a second and the rest of this conversation. You're very high energy. You clearly are I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're aggressive. Like I can tell you get shit done.
It's all good.
You go after it and you want to win. That's what it feels like. Even though things were happening, you were not giving up. You were just like, okay, bounce into that wall, bounce off, go that way, then go that way, right?
Go. Right foot, left foot, repeat.
Okay.
And so
now you're 32, got the bar.
Went back to school, got my undergrad and my master's in 2 years. Okay. I did my master's in 3 semesters. And then I started my doctorate and, was an adjunct professor at FAU for a little bit there with graduate assistantship and all that. And then I started doing personal training, and the rest is history. I mean, Perform Better picked me up after a presentation in the NSCA. And now that we're talking, Perform Better calls me, would you like to start the tour? This is 1997. I said, hell yeah, let's go. I anchored that tour for 11 years.
What does that mean?
That I was the headliner on the tour. And we're touring, 30 cities and I blow up. I'm on the cover of their catalog. It's nuts. I mean, it's banging. My career is like a meteor.
This is after you got the doctorate, after you went to school for physiology.
Yeah, I never got my doctorate yet.
Oh, but this is after you went to school. I mean, then this is the music.
I've graduated with my master's, and I just go bam, writing 18 books. I've written 18 books in 20 years, 30 years. It's almost a book a year. I lost count at 100 DVDs. I don't even know how many DVDs we have because we don't even print DVDs anymore. So,
right.
So I go international in 2010. I start going international, and I don't do the tour anymore. Plus, there was a natural separation of me because I was getting so big and the company, the direction they were going in. But I remained friends with the CEO, Chris Poirier, my dear friend, and the guy who heads that. And Friday, so the tour hasn't happened in 2.5 years, and I have not been on the tour since 2009, 2010, right? He calls me Friday. Dude, we're cranking up the tour again. Do you want to go for one last ride of the Immortals? I said, let's go. I'll put you on my shoulders and we'll fly on my shield. Let's go. He goes, you have the energy? I go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right.
I said, I am 10 times the presenter, 10 times the trainer, 10 times everything that I was in my 40s. This is an old man sport. Vince Lombardi couldn't have given those halftime raw shit, you know, that where you go in with 52 lambs and come out with 52 lions. He couldn't have given those speeches in 20 minutes when he was 25 or when he was 30 for that matter. That comes with age, man. The ability for you to move humanity, you know, unless you're a Michael Jackson, a Prince, and you're an artist. Okay, you can move humanity. One of the reasons I would come back next lifetime as an artist, because with one song, you can change the planet. I got to work really hard to change the planet, bro.
You know, man, that really is the truth. Like, a whole different topic. I'm a huge fan of music. Like, since I was a little kid, because as a child, for me, it was an escape from a very dysfunctional world I was living in as a child. And so, like, I always turned to music because it makes you feel a certain way. And it's funny, as an adult, like I said, I'm pushing 50. I always have my earbuds in, and it's like a subconscious thing. It's just, speaking of music.
Speaking of music, there you go.
We're going to leave that in. So, like you see, I got a guitar in the back. I'm not good at it, but I taught myself how to play, and I can mess around, but what do you want to go?
You see what I'm saying? I got my pads here too. I'm like,
I went to see, you might think this is corny, but I went to see the Elvis movie over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you like watching those old clips, because they weaved in some of the actual clips at the end, watching this guy sing and the depth and the power of that man's voice, watching it move people, and even listening to it. Like last night, I was sitting on a couch watching some of some of the best songs he sang, even towards the end of his career when he could barely move. It's moving, like you almost literally can come to tears.
Yes.
And music is the universal language, man.
100%, man. I studied This Is It with Michael Jackson. I've seen that movie, that documentary, maybe 7 times now.
Yeah.
They say, why do you like it so much? I said, not only do I like the music, Michael Jackson, the moment, the nostalgia, all that, but what I studied is how he works with the dance crews, how he works with his band, how in the middle of his creation, people don't understand what they're seeing sometimes. When Michael Jackson they're all talking about what should be happening, and all of a sudden you see he's out to the side moving, almost like having seizures. Okay. Remember they asked him, what's he doing? I'm simmering. Means that movement is keeping him connected.
Yeah, for sure. Well, is it a flow? Like he's in that zone. Like, where's the connection?
You can see he's not there with them. He's just, he's twitching and doing his little dance twitches. And all of a sudden he'll go to the bass player. In this part, I need that thump because I'm not feeling it, with love. And the drummer, when he hits that thump, I need you to hit that hi-hat with that bam, bam. And then he turns it. And you dancers, when we hit that part, I need you to be here because right now you're here. And when I hit here, I need the light, but I need the light coming from the right side. And you're going, holy shit, omnipotent, omnipresent, period. Learn from that shit, because that's that macro vision where I don't even think it's human. I think
it's like being part. It's like you're in the ether. You know, the ether is what connects every human being.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
We're all connected energetically. 100. And he's tuned into everybody's energy.
He's tuned into that universal thing. Yeah. Call it God, call it the matrix, call it the ether, call it the planet, whatever. And then I'm going, you know what? I'm not crazy, because when I'm typing and when I'm presenting, that's my art. And I feel that. I come out and sometimes my voice sounds like another person's voice in my ears. And I say something I've never said before. And it's almost like, it's a weird experience because it comes out and I'm going, damn, that's brilliant. That dude knows what he's talking about. And then you go, I just said that. And you wonder who the hell said it for you.
You're a transmitter.
Yes, you're channeling without a doubt.
Do you meditate?
Channeling something else.
Do you do meditation?
No, it irritates the shit out of me.
I mean, we're so off topic, but this isn't off topic. What you're talking about is it's all connected. Like when the martial arts and the way you were beginning to speak about it earlier, you take the best from everything, and it's an art, right? And so, but it all comes back to everything you do, even though you're in business and even though you're in the business of fitness, it really is an art for you. Everything 100. Is about art.
I am an artist to the death. I now understand that. I now understand, because even the way I coach my fighters, for example, I'm a strength and conditioning guy, but I have so much combat experience, and the way I think, my problem solving is monstrous, because I have been exposed to medicine, engineering, marketing, my own business, savagery. Okay, trained SEAL Team 6 for 3 years.
You did.
Shit, we got the flag that went into Saddam Hussein's.
We gotta slow this down, right? We gotta slow this down right here. You gotta talk about that a little bit. What was that like? First of all, how did you get?
They called me.
How did you get in there? How did they? Why did they call you? Like, how did that connection happen? Like, who knew who? Like,
well, when your name appears pretty much everywhere, and they ask who's the best at this, they go, you got to go to IHP. So we got a call. We got a call from one of their top commanders. We're going to be in Miami training, and we'd like to do a mentorship with Mr. Santana. So I had 13 original guys here, and I'm preparing for this presentation. So I'm doing my literature review on warfare, the psychology of warfare, the physiology of warfare, what happens to your eyes with high adrenaline, what happens to your vision, what happens to your hearing, what happens to your tactile breathing. So I'm like operating, I'm getting at this level. So I sit down with them, and I have this thing that I prepared that these guys are going to be super impressed and shit. I start talking about all this. They're looking at me like, what? And I threw the thing down. He goes, I can see that you guys are not into this. Tell me what you want. And they say, we just want to train hard. I go, all right, cool. Why do you want to train hard? Why do you want to train hard? And then I gave them my philosophy of training, that you don't have to abuse your body. Little things like, you already have the willingness to take abuse. I don't have to exercise that. I don't have to train that. What I have to now train is your ability to take the abuse. And I don't have to abuse your body to do so. That got them. Because everybody, SEAL Team 6, I'm gonna beat their asses, show how bad I am. I went the other way.
Say that again. Say that. I want to make sure I get that right. Say one more time that one sentence.
I told them, listen, you guys already have the willingness to take an ass beating. I'm not going to test that. So in other words, I'm not going to throw the hardest thing I can think of just to show you that I'm a badass and can kick your ass. I know you're willing to take the ass kicking. That's stupid. That's like you being in boxing, taking headshots, and I'm going to give you more headshots so you can take more headshots. I go, no, we don't do that. What we do is we train your ability to take the ass beating, not the willingness. You already got the willingness. If not, you wouldn't be SEAL Team 6.
What do you mean by train the ability to take it? Is that a psychological? You're talking about mental fitness?
It has to. It starts with the mind. The mind quits before the body. The mind quits before the body all the time. In neurophysiology, you say, well, this muscle is a slave to the brain because, the signals come from the brain and the muscles obey. All right, good. What is the mind a slave to? If the muscle is a slave to the brain, then what is the brain a slave to? Got to give it something, like that.
False beliefs. I was
like the ether, the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so call it the spirit. Call it the spirit. For a better reason. You can come in ready. You get a bad phone call, and your PRs are gone. See you later. You don't even feel like going in the gym. Your dog, something happened to your dog. Something happened to one of your family members, and that's it. So what happened? Yeah, your mind, but what happened? Why did your mind get that message and shut you down? Something your mind calibrated. What did it calibrate to? What did it calibrate with? And the only thing is your willingness. Okay, so what is the human will, if not the spirit? So
I don't know. You're about to reveal what I feel like we're dancing around, like possibly like your emotions. I mean, from minute to minute, if you don't have control of your emotions, you're gonna feel different. Your mindset changes. So part of it is it controlling you, being aware, I guess, being able to be aware of your emotions and to be aware to react, not to respond to things.
correct.
I'm sorry, I have it backwards. To respond, not to react.
You don't react, you don't respond. You accept.
Acceptance. By the way, I'm taking notes. That's why I keep going down. You're saying
once you accept, you're in the moment. That's the only way you can be in the moment. It's the only way you can be in the moment. So I'll give you a typical example of how we work. You're on the Versa climber. Okay, you want to get to 100, the fictitious number. You want to get to 100. And, you know, come 80, 90, the devil knocks on the door. When you're at 90, 80, and you do, and you start with everything you've learned that gets you over the hump, that gets you over the fear, that gets you over the tiredness, whatever the limitation is. Usually there'll be a facial expression, a grimace, something like that. If you look at bodybuilders, from the time they're warming up, they're already making faces, and the shit hasn't even gotten heavy yet, which tells you about the spirituality of the sport. It's a sport based on suffering, period. It's all about the suffering, the diet, the suffering, the loneliness, the suffering. You can't go anywhere, suffering. The dedication, suffering. The little money, suffering. It's a suffer. Self-inflicted pain for the purpose of glory, period. And not only do they self-inflict pain, they wallow in it. They wallow in it, bro. So
that's one of the best things I've ever heard. Pain for the purpose of glory.
But wallowing in it, because a lot of glory causes pain. But if you don't look at pain as pain, you just look at it as a perception or an emotion or a feeling associated with a function. So this is the way I coach you. Even easier, everybody's done curls. I give you 20-pound curls. And at number 7, you start with this. I'm going, Matt, this is me coaching you. All right, well, I see you for the first time. Give me the dumbbells. Great. That's very good, man. You got 10. Pretty easy, right? You go, yeah. I mean, I went a little hard at the end.
Now drop the weight and give me 20 more.
No, watch this. No, watch this. Okay. I'm going, all right. But at number 7, you gave me this. Okay, we're going to try something. I want 10 reps that you know you have, but I want 10 reps with no drama. No drama. That means no this, no this, no this. Relax your face. Think of a cyborg, how scary that thing is coming at you. Because you shoot it and it doesn't react. It doesn't grimace. It doesn't laugh. Nothing. It's just mission oriented. You can just see thing dialing in on you. Okay, so when that 7th rolls around, I want you to relax your face and finish the 10. Got it? Okay, good. Boom. You go, and without fail, I'm going 6. I'll go, here it comes. Relax, look at me, 7, stay there, stay right there, 8, 9, and 10. Boom. Teaching moment. How was it? Without a doubt, it'll be easier because there's reason why it has to be easier. You go, all right, you know what happened? All right. Everything in your life is like this, but this is how I teach you. When you have a challenge, you always associate it with past experience. And if it's a limiting belief, that limiting belief will come forth and sabotage, okay, your present moment awareness, all right, to screw up your future, which is the past casts a shadow on the present to ensure the future will not change. That's how false beliefs work.
It's a comfortable place to be for most people because you know what it feels like, even though it may not have a good outcome.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's comfortable because it's not comfortable. Why are you doing this if it's
it's familiar? It's familiar.
There you go. It's a habit.
Yes, yes.
But false limiting beliefs are habits.
Yes.
Just like positive beliefs. Okay? So next time anything happens that challenges you, like this curl, anything, you're going to hear from me, relax your face. And you'll see that when you relax your face, things get easier. Physically, they get easier. You'll see the pace on the Versa climber go up. You'll see the 10 pounds become 12 pounds. I mean, like that. You go, wow, I never noticed that. I go, Case in point, accept the present without judging it, without putting value on it. I said, it's not good. It's not bad. It's not easy. It's not hard. You don't like it. You don't hate it. It just is.
It just is.
Period.
That's your next book right there. It just is.
That could be.
Did you write that one already?
No, I'm busy writing Man Up.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
An operational manual for men, a reference journal for women.
That might be the biggest one yet.
That's going to be the monster right there. I'm going to write that.
That
one
really
right
is. There. Everybody can connect with that.
Yeah, you know, because everybody says, where have the men gone? But they followed the women. Where are the real men? They followed the real women.
I mean, I'm laughing is the way you're saying it, but I don't want to be politically incorrect, but it's true. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it just is. And that book could be very useful to a lot of people.
It is going to be useful. And, you know, some people are going to call me names. They call me names now and I haven't written anything. So there's going to be haters. There's going to be people that are jealous because you're moving ahead, because you have an opinion. And people who want to fight over opinions is because they can't validate their own. They don't want to be involved in that conversation. So what do? They pitch fits. It's a lot easier to throw a Molotov cocktail. It's a lot easier to paint your hair a color or pierce your eyebrow and say some crazy shit when you can't even make your own bed. You know, like Jordan Peterson says, first, make your room, make your bed before you try to fix the world. And I see the people that are picketing and I'm going, just, you know, based on what I'm hearing, based on what I'm seeing, body language, personal appearance, would you hire that person? And most of the time I'm going, no. So that tells you, okay, that tells you who's creating chaos and who's coming to the table to converse, to talk.
You have 18 books. You've worked with the military. They come to you because you've positioned yourself, I mean, rightfully so, because of your qualifications as an expert in a lot of different ways. Do you reach a point where you're just like, let me say it different. Aside from the energy that I feel from you, do you ever see yourself just getting tired of this? Like, is it more, and what keeps pushing you? Like, what's your own potential? Like, where do you go?
I don't know, bro, because I'm a late bloomer. But financially, I'm a late bloomer. You know, success, you know, like most billionaires and millionaires, they'll tell you they've lost millions. They've been to zero a couple of times. Okay.
It builds character.
How can an easy win build character?
You got
How can an easy win build character, bro? That's what I'm telling you. Everybody thinks that personal training is a young man's sport. Bullshit. My 23-year-olds can't take an attorney that wants to play better golf, but also wants to talk to a man to talk about his own frustrations, to make him feel normal. It's like, oh, you have that frustration too? Bro, I don't even have anybody to talk to these days, you know? And they come in here and they get a little thing, but the big thing they're getting is the camaraderie, is the sharing of space and time with a person who's like-minded. And if they're not like-minded, at least they're positive. And they're going, you know what? I need to be more positive. This guy's a positive person. I want to be around them a little bit more. And that's what personal training is. That's what coaching is. An athlete wants to be around that coach. I just want to pick up whatever he says. I want to breathe as his air, because when I'm with that old man, he just inspires the shit out of me, man. When I go into the ring or I go on the field, I want to make him proud, because I value his existence, his place in my life so much. I want to make him proud. That's my thanks to him. That's how I honor his time. This is an old man sport. Personal training is an old man sport. I can train a 14-year-old. And if I do 20 pull-ups, that 13-year-old goes, holy Jesus, look at Mr. Clean over here. Bald, no neck, 63 years old, just turned in 20 pull-ups at 220 pounds. Jesus. So I can impress that kid. I don't have abs like the 23-year-old. I got little bullshit abs like a 63-year-old. But, you know, I got no belly, but I can bang still. Even with my artificial hips, even with my, you know, arthritic knee, I can still go. I can train the father because I am his age. and I can train his father because I have a parent that age. So I can cover. I can get tough with somebody and I can give somebody a hug and everything in between. So this is
people, to your point, do you have people that, because it is so uncommon to find, you're a unicorn, you're a unicorn, right? So uncommon. So do you have people that you're able to like pass this down to, that are picking up on this energy, that are like, and that at some point, whatever that time is, that you can pass this torch on, because you're working with people right now that can carry on this message, because this message is really important.
And I'm not saying that I am or not. I feel different. And I don't appear different by any stretch of the imagination. Financially, I'm not where I will be and not where I should be. It doesn't bother me because I know it's coming. It just doesn't bother me. Number one, it is important, financial security, but I'm not distraught because I've never needed for anything I couldn't get. I've always made it happen. And I know that the message is different. This place is different. You can feel the thing coming and happening now. A lot of news of my app is coming out. Chris Poirier just calls. Just shit's going on, You go, oh, here it is.
It's coming.
Here it is, a second time. Yeah, here's a second wave, and it's going to be bigger than the last wave. But if you look at Martin Luther King, if you look at Ali, if you look at any of these guys, their offspring, it's not that they're good or bad, they're different. Rio is awesome. My son that runs IHP, awesome. He's the closest to me of all my other kids, but I wouldn't put that pressure on him. It's just, no, babe, you do you. You do you. Dad is a different thing, and you're a different thing, and we're both equally important to this world. So, and in the industry, I hope somebody's coming. I just don't see anybody really that is, that inspires the shit out of me.
I remember when I was 12 years old, I read Pumping Iron for the first of probably 20 times. I still have the original book. The pages are all broken out and everything. And I read that book, and it was so inspirational. And I began to follow bodybuilding and go to competitions in New York City and watch. And I mean, I'm not built like a guy that ever could have done that, but I wanted to do that. But the thing is, the mindset, reading a book, and I watched a movie, Pumping Iron. I'm sure you've probably seen it. There's a mindset, and I hear that as you talk. I hear the same thing I heard when I used to watch that movie, Pumping Iron. There's like a killer mentality. It's a killer mentality. I mean that in the best sense.
Yeah. But Jordan Peterson says you need to be a savage.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you are a savage to people, but your mentality of overcoming obstacle has to be savage in nature. That savagery is an energy. We just gave it the connotation of savage, and it's, savage, Genghis Khan, So
can that be taught to somebody?
Huh?
Can that be taught?
No. You can move. I've come up with this term, or at least I think I came up with it because I haven't heard it. Studying David Epstein and Sports Gene, look that one up. If you can get David Epstein on this podcast, bro, you would be doing the world a huge favor.
We gotta get David Epstein.
David Epstein, you have to get him. You have to get him, and he's a very cool guy. You have to get him. But Sports Gene is one book, and Range is the other book. And just to get familiar with him, look at his 15-minute TED Talk on, are we making athletes bigger, or are we recruiting them from the genetic pool? And you'll see why I don't put that much emphasis on training anymore, because you're not going to move.
It can't be taught. You can't teach a guy to be Michael Jordan.
You can't teach a guy to be 6'4". Either he's 6'4" or not.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So right off the bat, we look at genetics, and you can't. Everybody goes, oh, of course you can't teach 6'4". I go, then why do you think you would teach speed?
She's got the book up on the screen over there. Order that book for me.
Why do you think you would teach tenacity? Why do you think you would teach humor? No, you can improve all those things, but if those things are limited at a genetic, you can move the genetic bandwidth. You have a genetic bandwidth. So let's say if you have never lifted weights, never did anything because you were busy studying, and you start training at 40, now you're a doctor, and we've had this situation, you're a doctor, you had a heart attack, and you go, Jesus, let me get my shit together because I'm 40 years old. Now financially I can do anything, and I never taken care of my body. All right. That he's at the very, very low level of his genetic bandwidth. He's never optimized his genetics in the gym. You might find a guy that could have been a marathon runner, but you just never went for it. And we have those guys all the time. Pilots that do more reps for their legs than anybody else alive that we've ever measured. Pilots, because they were born with that. They just never used that as a profession or as something competitive. So you can move within your genetic bandwidth. You can move within your genetic bandwidth, but you're not going to move that genetic limit unless you take steroids, and we know what that does, or you do something abnormal. You have to do something abnormal to move the genetic potential, because your genetic potential is as locked as your height is.
But you can continue to pursue to reach your genetic potential.
Correct.
You may never even come close to it if you don't have somebody like you, a mentor, a guide, an advisor, somebody who sees that you're capable and has the ability. You use some words here, and I'm not sure if these can or can't be taught. Tenacity. I was talking about relentlessness, but discipline, fortitude, commitment. You can still, if somebody's open to it, you could teach those. You can bring that out in somebody you're saying if they have that even wired into them.
Well, everybody's got everything wired, but they have a bandwidth. Like, for example, if you're 5'6", your height bandwidth is like this. Okay. If you're 6'10", your bandwidth on height is this. Okay. Same thing can be said for things you can't see, which genetically, the things you can't see are a millionfold versus to the things you can see. But we think genetics is height, hair color, that kind of stuff. No, genetics is everything. Tenacity, humor, pain tolerance, all that. Can you improve on all those things? Sure. If I catch you low on your genetic bandwidth, I got the whole bandwidth to work. I can push you. But if I catch you already high on your bandwidth, already optimized, what the hell am I going to do with you?
What are you going to do?
You know what? Get out of the way. And that's the best. That's the best thing that a personal trainer and a sports conditioning coach can do. If the person's already winning, don't start on anything new because you think that Olympic weightlifting or proprioceptive training or some bullshit that you learn with big words, leave it alone. Just nurture where he's at because he's already optimized. You don't need to do anything.
So I come into your gym, you see, I'm 5'6". You see what you're working with. And you were like, okay, there's potential here. I see how far I can get this person. And maybe we work together for 2 years and you get me as far as I can go, which is a win. That's actually a tremendous win because we're moving forward. But then you have an athlete, professional athlete, or somebody who's got these aspirations, who's maybe had some big wins in their mind. They think they can go way farther. You have to at times say, I'm sorry, it's not genetically possible.
Well, the answer to that is no. It is possible, and this is how I approach. Because if I take that position, then I have to turn many people away, and wrongfully so.
That's what I'm wondering.
No,
right.
Okay, so let's say that you are the slower guy. You just don't have that twitchy feeling, and you see these guys. You can see them when they walk. They have this little spring to them. It's almost like Impala and deer. By the way they walk and the way they prance, you go, oh shit, this thing is fast. You just know.
Right.
You just know, right?
Right.
And let's say that you don't have one of those guys. You don't have one of those guys, but he wants to run the 400. Real case, okay? I'm going, listen, speed is not you don't have a high genetic potential on speed. What genetic potential do you have? Maybe the guy's tough as shit. All right, so this is what we're going to do, okay? Your job is to make your opponents or your co-racers or the people, your competitors, go toxic in the first 300 yards. What does that mean? I'm going to train you to buffer hydrogen. You know, when lactic acid is produced, it immediately disassociates into hydrogen and lactate. Unbeknownst to people, lactic acid does not exist in the human body. Period. End of story. So anybody that tells you they're massaging lactic acid away, removing lactic acid, or lactic acid is causing bullshit.
Wait. The girl that I go to all the time is like, you feel these little things? I go once a week. She's like, that's lactic acid. Acid buildup.
The lactic acid cannot be pulled out of the human body at any time, out of any orifice or circulatory cavity. Period.
Okay.
Because as soon as it is created in the chemical equation, boom, it disassociates into hydrogen and lactate. What they measure is lactate. Lactate can be used for energy. What burns in your thighs is the hydrogen. As hydrogen goes up, the acidity goes up, pH goes down. pH goes down, it's an acidic burn. Your shit's burning, and it's burning because it's hydrogen. So, Matt, you have this uncanny ability to withhold this hydrogen discomfort. So we're gonna work on your genetics. Okay. So you got to take off, man, 300 and you got to make these guys chase you because they won't be able to buffer hydrogen the way you do. So I'm going to train you to buffer hydrogen, you know, push what they call the lactate threshold to the right as much as possible. And if anybody chases you, they won't have the starch in the last 100 to beat you. So that becomes the drama of sports. One genetic gift against another genetic gift. Everybody's got a gift. You got to find that gift, push that, and then use that as part of the strategic plan to beat the person. We do that in fighting all the time. A guy has reach on you. What are you going to do? I'll jab him? No, first you got to get him tired. Okay, so how do I get him tired? Well, in MMA, well, are you a good wrestler? Hell yeah, great, fantastic. He'll never hit you. Change levels, get his arms tired, clinch him, get him tired, then you can out jab him because he won't be able to lift his hands. Voila.
And you're going back to what I think I took from when you mentioned range earlier in the conversation, talking about strategies and systems. Exactly. That's the same thing you're saying now.
Exactly. So for example, how do I take that to work on the gas situation now? All right, look.
Everybody listen closely. We're gonna solve inflation, right? Let's go.
No, I mean, look, we all know that we want to take care of the planet.
Yeah.
So there's no argument there. So I'm good with the green people. Okay, beautiful. All right. Number one, let's calm down and let's change the way we look at fossil fuels, because a horse is greener than a Tesla, correct? Would we not agree that a horse is a lot greener than a Tesla? Okay, but if you measure CO2 production on both, the horse farts and breathes and creates more CO2 in that chamber that you measure it. So the Tesla will come out greener than the horse if you measure it like that.
Just a matter of perspective.
Okay, so guys, listen, we have a lot of fuel that we don't want to burn and shit because we don't want to pollute the air. Okay, great. Why don't we crank up the production so we're not in this situation, make money with what we can make money with on the short term, invest it in the long term, and then make the transition. How about that? You and I would go, hell yeah. What's wrong with that? Oh, what's wrong with that is you know what's wrong with that? Politics and people.
Politics.
And people. Because you can be for both. How do we get there? Strategies. You got 80% of your income coming from a part of your business. You don't shut that shit down to make the 20% stronger.
Right.
For crying out loud, you work with that 80 and phase the 80 out. Use the profits from the 80 and build up the 20 and then phase the 80 out. Done. It's a win-win, but you can't have that because you have little retard kids that own the football, okay? And unless they play quarterback, we ain't playing the goddamn game. So you end up having a shit game with the little fat boy playing quarterback and he hasn't thrown a pass yet. And that's the truth.
we've gotten too far from the truth. I mean, I'm kidding aside. I mean, we can't even you can't even say the reality anymore. It's so
because you piss off somebody.
Piss somebody off.
You know, I mean, if you and I were taking, you know, people from a country, we already had that happen, and you and go, Matt, how do we get our people and everything the fuck out of here? You would go, let's take the innocent first. Shit, a boat is sinking. Who goes out first? The women and the children. Hello. Take out all the civilians that are of consequence. Take them out first. That leaves the badasses there with the equipment. Okay, now we have a phase strategy. A few badasses, a few pieces of equipment. Few badasses, few pieces of equipment. Have the Air Force flying, protecting everything, and get everybody there. The last guy who leaves is the general with a B-52. Done.
Well, that makes too much common sense.
But what do? Just leave everything. Why? Because we got people that, because of man up. Nobody wants to man up. Even the women. Nobody wants to take courageous action because of what people may think, what the monies they have, and all that stuff. And we can be pro-green and use the fuel that we have now to go green. So it's not like we're saying, no, green. No, let's do green. Let's do it good. Let's do it better. Let's do it. But we need money to do it.
For sure.
So those are strategies. The strategy that I just mentioned to you with the fighter is the same strategy we're going to apply to leave a country that we don't want to be in, to use the things that we have to get us the things that we don't have yet, and everybody can play ball. What's so difficult about that?
You know, by putting the word out there, writing the books you're writing, and like, that's the most you can do is keep spreading the word, you know, and the more people you can touch, the more people you can impact, the more that word gets spread. That's all you can do. It goes back to what you said before about acceptance. You know,
yep.
You got your reach. You got your reach.
Anyways,
but you reach a lot of people.
But that's just to show you that the strategies that you learn in fitness, what are the strategies? Discipline, delayed gratification.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Perseverance. I don't give a shit how much money you have and who you know. You're not dropping the 20 pounds by Friday. Why? Because of the law of the harvest. It's a natural principle. If you don't plant when you need to plant, there ain't no magic water, magic seed, or magic soil that'll give you a crop in a week. It's not going to happen, Daddy.
Oh my God.
It's that simple.
I love you. You're hilarious.
So this is fitness.
It is.
To join a gym, man, you gotta walk into a place where you know you're an outcast. You're out of shape. You don't look. Everybody's in there shredded, or people who are not shredded, they're getting shredded. Everybody's other, even the fat people in the gym, they're walking taller. So that's intimidating.
So I walked into your gym yesterday, and again, I didn't put two and two together that you and I were talking today. So when I was in there yesterday, I will tell you that the energy, there was only a few people there. The energy, I could feel the energy. I was there with a physical therapist, but the energy I felt in that gym, like it's serious, man.
It's
like,
palpable.
It's serious.
And it's not, everybody thinks, well, the energy is for athletes. No,
there were regular people in there. Athletes came in towards the end when I was there, but they were just regular people. I've been there some days where I see just, I see moms in there, like local people, but I've been in there twice or 3 times. The energy is always the same. It's no joke.
It's a positive, inspirational, and motivational energy.
Yeah, I don't want to leave, but a few times I've been there, I actually feel like I want to stay, and it's hard to explain. And now we're explaining it. Like, it's that energy. Like, you don't want to leave it. No, man, it's like crack. Yeah, I don't know, but crack. It feels good to. But I mean, definitely felt good. It's like crack. It's like you want more of it. You want more of it. But it's positive. Yeah. So imagine if crack was a vitamin that you could take as much as you want. That would be it. There's nothing good that feels like
quite like, like the drugs that people get addicted to. There's nothing natural that kind of makes you feel that way until you're in tune. Once you're in tune, then you can feel that euphoric feeling for many reasons, you know?
So you do encourage, we got to wind it down. I want to like bring it back to like just the average person, right? Like, and you have professional athletes coming in, you got like major people, but your gym is for everybody. Your gym is for anybody that wants to come in and wants to maybe change the way they look, change the way they feel, change their mindset, right?
Yeah. It's just, I think our gym is for anybody who wants a refreshing change.
Okay. So I was in there again, and I can tell you that I'm in like good shape for a guy my age. And even being there yesterday with the physical therapy, because I got a problem, it was a little, when some of those bigger guys came in, I don't know who's who. So
at what time did you come in?
The PT mentioned to me who these guys were, and I was just like, wow.
Did you come in at 4 or thereabouts?
It was the I forget his name. It was something with a G. Gordon.
No, Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert, yeah.
And Ian Einish. You had 2 of the top UFC fighters here with their kids.
So that's what I was told, and I gotta tell you, like, I'm just like everybody else is some regular dude in this gym, and I'm like, wow, like there's a mindset thing about to be in there working out as just a regular guy when those like legendary people walk in, and I was watching them like what they were doing. I'm like, oh my God, like, can I even work out here while they're here? Like, I don't mean literally, but it could be very scary for your average person, you know, like, holy shit.
My appointment at 5 o'clock was a dear friend of mine that's a jeweler. He's a business guy, never done sports. Yeah. And the fighters were competing on the Versa Climber. That's when you heard the yelling, go, go, go,
I
go.
heard them screaming. Yeah.
Right? I said, Peter, come on over here. I said, because I want you to smell this bouquet. I want you to smell this aroma.
Killer energy. It's a winter energy.
This aroma is just, it's gonna get done.
Yeah.
This is savagery focused in a non-lethal, beautiful way. Okay, you have that too. What? And he just stood there and saw them engage and saw one go for the record and saw the other one and the way they interact. I go, now you're ready to work out. He goes, this is just unbelievable. And it was just an injection of positivity.
You remember that? I'm going to end it with this. You remember that scene from Rocky where they have that, even Rocky 2 or Rocky 3, but when I think it was Rocky 2, when they're training and all these fighters are watching, and Mickey's yelling at him, screaming at him, and everybody's watching. And you can tell, like, it was that energy that they were trying to create that was that special energy. But then you got all the other guys that are like looking up to him, like in awe. Your gym is the same way. Anybody can go there. You got superstars that are there. But the positive side of that is like, come to your place, like come join, come participate, because that can take you to the next level. And we were talking about your genetic capability. In your gym, somebody has more of a chance of reaching that than just going to LA Fitness.
Well, if you know that, if you at least are aware of the destination, you got a better shot at getting to it.
Right.
If you're operating in limbo, as most trainers do, they don't even have charts. I mean, we have charts and plans on everybody, whether you're an attorney trying to improve your golf, a mom trying to drop 10 pounds, or a fighter getting ready in 7. We have a plan. We have a calendar. Everything's projected forward. Things happen, we can move around, but I can show you the plan. Always. We have a flight plan.
And I want anybody that watches this to know that I'm not here trying to sell the gym or sell the cert. I'm just sharing that the point of this show, especially this episode, is we want to motivate and inspire, and we want to have an impact on you. So this would be a place that could take you to the next level in your own health and fitness. And so that's why I'm asking these questions, so that people can understand, like, don't be afraid to come to a place that's next level, because that's what's going to get you to the next level, you know?
And if you have a trainer or anything, just ask the trainer this very politely. Can you show me the 6-week or an 8-week plan that you have for me? Can you show me the plan that you have for me? Split up in 2 weeks. This week, we're going to do this. This week, we're going to do that. Boom. Do you have charts on what you do with me? How do you know if you're repeating something? How do you know if you're not repeating something? How do you know if I'm getting better? Do you have those things written down? Ask them that. You know what may happen? You may actually make your trainer a better trainer. You don't have to come to IHP. Hold the people that are around you accountable.
That's right.
You will bring them up.
That's a message right there.
Or they will drift away because they don't want to step up. So by you stepping up and just asking a question, does this exist? Because it should. And do you have this? You know, and I would love if you did that with me so I can see, so we both can see where we're heading and have an understanding how this is progressing. You have stepped up because now you're aware that you can require and request things, that you're better, than you're worth more than you're getting. And your trainer will step up and deliver. And if you already have a trainer that's delivering, now you know. So both of you have stepped up and gone, yeah, we're simpatico.
JC Santana, you are a powerful fucking presence, man. I love it.
That's why I told Chris, I said, bro, just make sure that the presenters that you're going to put on the stage with me are bringing it. Just make sure that they're bringing it, because if they're not bringing it, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be problems. They're going to be intimidated and they're going to be problems. You're going to be bitchy, whiny problems. And I don't want bitchy, whiny problems. I said, I'll do the whole tour by myself.
Dude, I got to wind it down. I can't get enough of you.
Hey, no, man, we got part 2 and part 3 coming. Don't worry about it. I ain't going nowhere.
Holy shit.
Dude, and you can do something live here with me in my office or out there.
I want to come back by you, man. So we shot, I told you, we shot a show in your gym with Dr. Joe.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was you. So it's just total
now this is
fun coincidence.
Prelude, baby. This is the prelude. This is the trailer.
It was awesome because we got in there early. It was still closed. And then he and I kept talking and talking. So all of a sudden people are coming in, weights are smashing, and we're in the middle. And I loved it. It was because people were like, hey, what's going on? So that we were the center of attention. Everybody thought there was some like famous guy. It was Joe. You know? Yeah, soon to be famous. But no, I'd love to do that, man. I'd love to do some live stuff with you. And
let's do it.
There's a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like I said at the beginning, for me, like health and fitness is a passion. I actually think maybe I want to just come work out by you now, man. I work out at the club where I live, but I'm too young to be like settling, man. I want to come work out by you, next level. You know,
if you work out by yourself, you're gonna smell it.
I work out by myself.
You're gonna smell it. You're gonna
sure.
it's gonna seep into the pores.
All right, tell me, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. There's no way anybody who watches this, whether it's tomorrow or next year, is not going to get at least 15 things out of this that they can apply to their life, their business, frankly, to their relationships. It doesn't matter. There's a lot to be had here. So thank you for sharing so much, like wisdom, you know? Tell me where people can reach you.
Without a price.
Tell everybody where they can reach you.
Well, my email is jcs@ihpfit.com, and I'll give it to Matt so he can write it down. jcs@ihpfit.com. www.ihpfitness.com is the gym. And at @IHPFit is our handle on social media, @IHPFit.
Awesome. So we're going to put all of that down below in the description. So anybody that's watching this, go down below. Listen, having been in his facilities and seen what goes on, like if you're local, if you're in Boca or South Florida in the area somewhere, it's definitely well worth it. But the other thing is like the books you have out and like the things you've written and all the videos, like you don't have to come to your gym to get it to get more of this, to get more of this mindset. So we're going to put all that down below in the description. It'll be out there forever. This show is about inspiration and motivation. And I end every show by looking at everybody and saying this: be humble, hustle, and do the work. You will reach your potential, but you got to do those things. And I'm going to add to this today. I learned something new about reaching your potential, which was genetic bandwidth. So now you actually know as an individual, figure out what that is. Like you may think you've reached your potential, but maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't. And a little inspiration will cause you to kind of revisit that and then push to the next level. So I hope that's what you guys take away from the show today. And again, JC, thank you so much.
My pleasure, my brother. Anytime.
You got it.